What is the state of the village from an economic development point of view right now, Kristi?
So we're so busy. I have to just tell you, we have so many things underway right now that are exciting for Lansing. We have, I think, one of the fundamentals that we're undertaking now is a comprehensive plan update. We brought in consultants. We have outside funding through CMAP to fund a year-long study that will provide us a comprehensive plan for the next 10 to 15 years.
This is not Lansing funds. This is funds from the outside.
Correct.
Grant, and you brought experts from the outside.
We did.
To help the village lay out what? A new plan for itself?
It's essentially the framework for all land use decisions for the future. They're going to pay special attention to a few focus areas. The Torrance Avenue corridor, both north of 8094 and south of 94, the Ridge Road corridor, and then the airport. We fortunately received a $100,000 grant from, again, the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, CMAP, to fund this study. So far, we've been really happy with the preliminary work that they're doing, and we're just getting into kind of the public participation side now. What is interesting is that the experts that we've selected to bring on board with us will look at market study. They'll do a lot of analysis about what are the niche end users and other businesses that can come into our village. What do we have? Where are people within Lansing going to find these other resources outside of our town?
You're planning, but you're also economic development. People say,
Right.
Ben, every time you talk with Mrs. DeLaurentiis, she's been talking about planning,
Yeah.
but what's actually happening? You've been planning now for several years since you've been in this position, and there are some things happening as a result of those plans. Talk a little bit about what is actually happening.
I've been in this, at this position for about 14 months.
Oh, you've corrected me. You've been around for so long. It's
Well, I was going to say, you
half.
said years, and I just wanted to make sure that I think a lot has happened in the
Yes.
last year plus.
Yes.
We have
I
new
stand
businesses
corrected.
coming in, and some of them are poised. I think in former conversations that we've had, we've talked about the trucking company Peterbilt that's come in. They're actually moving forward with phase 2 and expanding their operations on Bernice Road. They had their official opening a month or two ago. They're having their grand opening once the landscaping and everything gets done. We have a new distribution center that's come up in our food production corridor along Bernice, bringing 14 new jobs to the community. That came in this month. We're looking at IHOP breaking ground next month, so plans have been approved. We're just moving forward.
So they would move from their existing location?
They are
to
moving from their existing location, and there are other restaurants that are looking to go into that site as we speak. We have a music school that's we've been working with for about 9 months that's interested in expanding to Illinois. They've targeted Lansing because of our proximity to the Chicago music scene, and they're interested in having an actual school facility in downtown Lansing. There's a lot of things happening on a daily basis, a lot of positive things that are happening in Lansing.
There still are a number of empty properties, businesses, old businesses that may be in trouble. What's happening? Are they part of this comprehensive plan? Are you engaged with these businesses and these empty properties?
So one of the things that we're doing that's perhaps different than what's been done in the past is we're trying to catalog all of those properties, and we're trying to create a database and then provide that information to other economic development entities that potentially can support us, and try to get the word out to site selectors and others. So I brought on some very capable planning interns this spring that'll be with us till summer and perhaps longer, and they're starting. That's some of the projects that they're working on, because we're trying to have significant impact in the short term on some of the projects that have been in the pipeline, but moreover really work at trying to fill some of these kind of vacant spaces that are in need of some cleanup and green up.
Well, Lansing's been around for quite a while. In fact, this is a watershed year for Lansing, and is that part of this whole process of kind of a new vision, a new purpose, a new logo, all of those things for Lansing?
In some ways it is. We obviously want to build upon the strengths. I think you've probably been familiar with the motto, proud of our past, but excited about the future. That strategy is one that we want to take to heart, that there's a lot of good assets that we want to build off. We want to make sure that we're addressing any of the challenges that are within the community. I do think that we have a lot of exciting opportunities that are just starting to gel, and sometimes they take time. The 120th year we'd like to have as really kind of a catalytic moment to move forward and say, we're moving forward in a positive direction for the next 120 years as well. So
we're going to have a big birthday cake and all that?
We are going to have a birthday cake. We're going to try to have some celebration and recognition about how far we've come.
You mentioned these various corridors, the Torrance Avenue, the Ridge Road. I think you even referred to kind of a food industry or industry processing corridor. Is that like the Bernice Road area there?
Correct.
So is that kind of part of the strategy, that we're looking at these regions within Lansing that have new potential?
We have a lot of diversity within our community, both in our economic base. In particular, we have Land Defrost, which is a national food processor here in Lansing. As other communities are struggling with food deserts and not having local food production or organic food production, if we can somehow rise above kind of the noise level, so to speak, in investors' eyes, and be a targeted area because of our proximity to the interstate, to Indiana and parts east and west of the country. We have the ability to get on multiple radar screens, and we just have to do a better job of self-promoting. So that's kind of what we're trying to do in branding.
If you would only say one thing to the residents of the Village of Lansing about the state of our village right now, what do you want to say to them?
Stay tuned. As soon as the weather turns, we're going to see a lot of investment in the area. We've been tracking what plans are coming in, what time people, what's the timetable for these projects getting underway. And I think as soon as the weather breaks formally and people feel confident that they can start pouring concrete and doing other things, there's going to be a lot happening on the ground. And, that'll only spur other activity.